Yeah, it's so weird you say that because I feel like you texted us the other day saying like, hey, like I'd love to come on the podcast to like talk about my business and also I really want a hot GF.
That was a joke. I thought it was pretty funny.
Hey, Boston bitches. Welcome back to another episode of Drinks After Work with your favorite hosts, girls, side hosts, pieces, whatever you want to call us, Abby and Shannen. Nice to see you guys again.
You did it again.
What?
You said Abby and Shannen. It's Shannen and Abby.
Why does it have to be Shannen and Abby?
There are rules in life.
It's just like
sometimes
a weird,
you just have to follow them.
I feel like that's just like a weird thing that you have.
It is, but it's okay. If you're new here, make sure you guys follow us on social media. It's at @drinksafterwork_ on Instagram, and then on TikTok at @drinksafterwork _. If you're a Boston baddie, if you're a girl living in the Boston area looking to make new friends, looking for new drink recommendations, join our private Facebook group. We have over 3,000 girls that are looking to do just that, and you should become a Boston baddie today.
Yes, sign up today.
I know, that's where I was going.
I honestly feel like it was literally yesterday that we were here, and it's because it basically was yesterday.
Yeah,
that
we are recording twice this week because Miss Girl over here is traveling next week.
You're traveling too, though.
Not on Monday.
Yeah, true. Well, so wait, I'm actually have like a 9 p.m. bedtime tonight because I'm going to Chicago at like 4 a.m,
Gross.
taking a flight, coming back on Sunday, and then I have a work trip to Wisconsin.
You have back-to-back trips.
I have a work trip to Wisconsin on Monday, which I'm coming back on Wednesday.
What the hell's in Wisconsin?
I don't know, but there's like 5 of us going there, so it'll be something.
Yeah. Well, we just couldn't leave you guys hanging with nothing next week, so we're back in the studio, and today we have a guest. We haven't had a guest in a minute, and for those of you watching on YouTube, you probably see this dude just chilling right next to us. He so happens to be our friend.
Yeah, you also are probably wondering why we look like a JV soccer
cone?
team.
Whoa.
So he brought in these shirts for us to wear, and we'll get to that later, but we just wanted to represent. I was like, Abby, we look like we were picked last like in high school sports to play soccer.
Honestly, it's kind of bringing back nostalgic vibes of like when I used to, go to gym class.
I know. I'm actually a little bloated, so I'm not mad about it either. But yeah, we've been wanting to have one of our good friends on the podcast for a while, and we were trying to figure out who we wanted, and we finally decided we were going to choose Zack as our first like actual friend to come on here, like prior to doing Big Night in the podcast, because he's single. So we thought that would be great.
Yeah,
that's not the only reason why, but he is in fact single.
He is single, for those of you wondering.
I'm ready to mingle.
Hello.
So this is Zack Aicardi. It sounds like iCarly, but it's Aicardi.
With a D. D as in dog.
D as in dog.
Yep. That's it.
So yeah, this one's gonna be a little fun. We're gonna talk to him a little bit. The real reason that we had him on is because he actually specializes in a bunch of different areas. He has 3 different streams of income.
Ladies, 3 streams of income.
Yeah, 3 revenue streams. So they say you're supposed to do that by the time you're 30.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So he's gonna talk a little bit about what he kind of specializes in, what he does for work, and give some tips. But Zack, could you introduce yourself and tell the baddies a little bit about you?
Hello, I'm Zack Aicardi. So do you want me to just start out what I do for work?
Yeah, just give us like a synopsis. Like, who are you? How'd you get here?
The Spark Notes version.
The Spark Notes.
Because you definitely have an impressive resume, but we all have short attention spans. So your 60-second elevator pitch on who you are.
I'm 26. I live in Dorchester, Neponset.
Woo!
Have
you heard of Neponset?
Very scenic, yeah. For work, so full-time in the city, I'm a superintendent for a general contractor. We do a lot of big buildings. We did the Hub 50 house. Did you guys know you went there? It was very nice.
Oh, yeah.
I'm in Cambridge now, so I do that full-time during the week, and then I kind of split my time with, I have like my own construction business, Aicardi Construction Corp. Look at that right there, flash logo.
Represent. Wait, did I show the right shoulder?
Yeah. And then I do real estate too, so I kind of split my time between construction and real estate.
You make us look like losers.
Yeah.
Sorry.
in like a good way.
Busy guy. Do you have time to do anything but work?
No.
I'm so thankful and grateful that you came and made time for us
I made
today.
time just for you guys.
I'm actually wondering how you made the time, because you work 7 days a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
You probably don't want me to say that on the podcast.
No, it's fine. I don't
So
care.
girls, he has no time for you, but he's single.
That's what we talked about. He's like, he's like, try to find a girl that wants to date someone that works 7 days a week.
It's not a thing. It's non-existent.
It's hard.
Oh.
No.
Like, you don't get a break.
No, I can take a break. Like, I take breaks.
Yeah, you're here right now.
I went to Miami.
That's true.
This is true.
That's true. We do appreciate that. He knows how to have fun. But yeah, so I think the main thing that we wanted to talk about was the real estate realtor side of what you do. I think a lot of the people that listen to this podcast are people who are in their early 20s who don't know a ton about like how to get into buying a house, how to reach out to a realtor, like going through that process. How did you get into that field?
So I've been doing real estate for almost 5 years now. I got my real estate license when I was a sophomore at UNH.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. You can do that when you're still in college?
Yeah, you can get it when you're 18.
Oh.
So you have to take 40 hours of like a real estate education class, and you have to take the test. You have a real estate
So you
license.
don't need a college degree to be a realtor? Oh, okay.
You just need to take a test.
Was it hard, the test?
I mean, it was kind of hard, but like you have the books in front of you.
I heard the test was hard.
It's not that bad. You have the books in front of you, and you can
Online
like,
at
tab them out and
home?
everything. No, it's in person.
Oh.
You can do the classes online, but then you take the test in person.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, why did you go into real estate? What made you want to?
It was just like something that I could do on the side and not have to commit a certain amount of hours to. Like growing up, my dad has always had his own construction company. Like he's been building houses, so it just kind of made sense. Like he'd build them and I'd sell them while I was in college.
Right. Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Did you sell any houses when you were in college?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't know that.
So I'd go home on the weekends and do like real estate showings and sell houses and then come back up.
Wait, that's awesome. Were you doing like brokering as well? Like,
Do you want me to explain it just so you don't get confused?
yeah, Zach, you're gonna have to dumb it down
Oh
for
my
us.
God.
Like, I mean, dumb it down.
Abby and I were saying this earlier. We were like, he's gonna have to really explain. Like, you can't go into this conversation assuming that
We
there's
know.
any baseline knowledge.
fine. I can
was
do
like,
that.
we barely know how to set up our EverSource bills.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind when you're talking.
We are not good adults yet.
We're not
so.
adults.
I wish you guys had a whiteboard in here so I could just break it down. From the
Oh
top
my
for you.
God, you should. I would have brought one.
That would be cute. Okay,
Next
so
time.
explain how it
All right.
works.
So brokerage, there's one broker in each office. He's the boss. And then he has a bunch of realtors, like I was telling you, realtors under him. He's the boss. And you have to.
What was your question before? You were like, "Are you a real estate realtor?"
You said, "Are you a real estate agent realtor?" That sounds weird. That sounds weird as hell.
I don't know.
So there's a broker who's like
There's one
the
broker
head
that's the
honcho.
boss,
He's like
basically.
the kingpin,
That's
basically.
correct. Yep.
Okay.
And then there's just a bunch of realtors under
Oh,
him.
so that's the stupid man that anytime I sign an apartment, the broker fee, I pay a month's rent.
No,
for
you're
that.
paying that to the realtor, but they call it a broker's fee.
Oh.
And that realtor, that realtor has to split it with the broker in his office. Like they also get a piece of every sale.
Okay, so he gets like a piece of everyone's sale.
Correct.
Oh,
so it
how
is
do you
like he is like a kingpin.
to
It's
be
like a
that job?
pyramid scheme.
How do you get to be the broker?
You just got to be an OG. That's it.
And like,
you have to
hope-
you have to
wait
put up a
people to
bond to the
die?
state to be a broker, and you have to be practicing real estate for so long.
Like how many? Like 20 years or like 10?
No, not. I think you have to actually have a certain volume of sales to be a broker. Then you
like
put
make
up.
amount of money,
Yeah.
like a certain amount.
Then you put up
So-
a bond to the state. You have your own office, and people can hang their licenses
Okay,
in your office.
this is like a weird example, but like when you're a hairdresser, you can be a hairdresser, but you have to be a hairdresser for a certain amount of years before you can open up your own hair salon.
I don't know anything about that. So yeah, maybe.
But I'm asking
You're
is,
comparing
like,
apples and oranges.
So as a realtor, you work under a
Broker.
broker. But if one day you wanted to start your own like practice, like people
I could be a broker if I wanted to.
Right
But
now?
people could like come with
Probably,
you
yeah.
and like leave that dude and like
Yeah,
work for you.
You can go wherever you want.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, gotcha, awesome. So then, is there a difference in people that like sell places and like rent places?
No, it's all the same. So if you're a realtor, you can represent buyers and sellers. You can do rentals. You can cover all that. But like different realtors will specialize in working with buyers or sellers or renters.
Do you do one more than the other, like you personally?
I've been with buyers a lot lately.
By choice or just because?
Just like the way it pans out.
Right,
Like people
okay.
our age are buying houses and they'll come to me and I'll help them out.
Yeah, I've noticed that the market is hot right now.
Real hot.
Why?
Screaming
She's hot.
Why
She's
is that?
smoking.
She is smoking hot. She's real hot.
She's
That must be that must be good for your wallet, I'm sure.
Oh, it's good for now. Like I just helped our friend Chad from Southie, the recent millionaire.
Yeah,
The big loaded guy.
Yeah, Chad is he rakes it in.
He's wealthy now.
Yeah,
He's a millionaire.
He's an overnight
be nice.
millionaire.
Shout out Chad.
Can't
Shout out to
relate.
Chad. He has come into a large sum of money, and you helped him out with his place.
Yeah,
right?
so I helped him get a condo in Southie. I'm working with
I thought it was Seaport.
Southie.
Oh,
Like
okay.
Seaport Southie line.
It's really
Okay.
nice. Very nice. Roof deck, everything, the whole nine.
Okay, so how is that? How do you make money?
So I'll get
Just that
I'll
broker's
get
fee?
a percentage out of that sale.
Okay, and that's predetermined. So like, is every
like before I showed Chad the apartment, like you go on a page called MLS. That's where everything is, and it tells you what percentage of the sale you'd get as a realtor.
Can you like negotiate that or no? Like
you could, but it's kind of like a scumbag thing to do.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah, like it is what it is, kind of thing.
But aren't you kind of a scumbag?
No, it's false.
No.
Thanks. I want my shirt back. I want my shirt back.
That's a complete layup, though. The fact that you're like, that's kind of a scumbag thing to do.
I feel like I would do
you're
that.
a scumbag.
I would negotiate. I'd
No,
be
you
like,
would. But you're a scumbag. I feel like we're all kind of scummy
when it
here.
comes to money, maybe.
You never know. Wait, okay, so I have a question. I'm like, when I used to rent apartments like through realtors, I would like, scroll through, troll around Zillow, you find a place and you're like, oh my gosh, this place is cool. And then you get like assigned a broker, realtor, whatever. Is that just random or do you just get like something pop up to you?
Well,
like,
it's weird with Zillow. Zillow does like advertisements. So like I could put up a house and it would go up on Zillow, but Zillow would show somebody else. Like you can pay to get to the top of the list on Zillow. Somebody would call you and then they'd get that business.
Okay.
Like it's kind of funky. Does that make sense or no?
No.
Honestly, we love her.
No, it does, but like, okay, so it's
like you can pay to go to the top of the page at Zillow and just have your name pop up and say, have this person show you the apartment. But in reality, I'd be the one listing it. But I don't pay for Zillow. I don't really need to.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
That makes sense. So what makes you different than other people out there? Because you know how it is. Like you go to the apartment in Southie that you saw photos of on Zillow, and they're all like bright, light, like dim, like beige soaked like apartment.
Beige soaked.
Those words have never been used to describe an apartment.
And you get there and it's like a trap house. And then the dude,
like you've been catfished.
The dude opens the door and he like reeks of weed.
We went to a couple of those in Southie. Like when I was looking with Chad, we looked at one building and there was just like 30 units that were not sold, like they're for sale.
Yeah.
And he's like, we built them last year and we walked in and like the walls would be cracked, like the lights looked like shit. And he's like, oh yeah, we'll fix that like before you move in. It's like, it's a new condo.
Like why would it need to be fixed?
Yeah. So like, that's
sketchy.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. But like I feel like sometimes you like get introduced to the guy and then all of a sudden he like pulls out like the sell techniques. Like I would walk into an apartment and it blatantly wasn't like my vibe, right? Like it was obvious. Like the writing was all over my face and I was like, yeah, it's fine. And he's like, well, I have three more people who put down offers on it, so it's gonna be gone tomorrow.
Is that
put an offer
true?
in today?
No. Can I swear on this?
Yeah.
That's usually just bullshit. Like it's not true.
Yeah, but like, do you use that technique or like what's like your go-to sell? Like if you're trying to sell me, what's your line?
That's my biggest thing. Like I don't have to sell these like units. So like I have a full-time job, so I'm not like killing to make money. Like I'm not like a used car salesman. Like I'm trying to help people out.
Honestly, that's a good. See, that's why you need to have multiple streams of income so that you're not putting all your eggs in one basket for one.
You don't want to sell desperately.
Yeah,
no way.
No one
that's
likes
not a good
that
sell.
you can sell
Nobody
it.
likes that. Yeah.
I hated that because it was always the same shit. It would be like the ugliest place I've ever seen. They were like, well, it has like half a bathroom. Like it doesn't have like an actual toilet, but it has a shower.
But you can make it work. It'll be fine.
You can make it work. Just pee in the shower. And I was like, all right, well, I might have to think about it. He's like, well, we already have 4 offers. Like I come in tomorrow, so you have to put down.
Yeah, that sucks. I hate that stuff.
I'm like, all right, dude. And his name was always like Brad.
Whoa.
Or Zack.
Okay, so I have a question because I'm stressed out for you. So you have literally 3 jobs and like they're all, I mean, the realtor one you can like do as you please, but like you have like a full-time job as that superintendent, but you also own a construction business. So like what is it like being you?
How do you
for a day? Like where do you put all your time in mostly? And like,
can we just break my day down for you?
Yeah.
So I wake up at 5 every day.
Ew.
Saturday and Sunday it's like 6:30. It's not 5.
Oh my god.
No, you were up at 5 when I called you in a frantic.
That was, I didn't go out the night before, so it was fine.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll wake up at 5. I'll get to the job site that I'm on now. I'm in Cambridge Crossing.
Wait. Job site for the construction thing?
For like the GC, the superintendent. So that's what I do in the city full time. So I get to Cambridge at 6. I'm usually there till like 3 or 4, depending on the day, 4:30 sometimes. And then from there, I'll go back to like, we're doing a job in Mendon right now. I just posted about that the other day. I'll go work there till 8 or 8:30. And then for some reason, I did another job after that. I took on a bathroom in Bellingham that I said I'd do in a week. So I've just been working there from like 8 to 10:30 probably. And then I drive back to Dorchester.
Oh my God. Okay. So that's all just the construction job though, right?
That's all construction. And then like, so I can't work with
Superintendent
Superintendent.
What does that
Can you explain what
entail?
that is?
So whenever I
Yeah.
think superintendent, I'm thinking schools.
What do you
Like,
think that
I'm
means? Yeah, I'm
same.
curious.
Thinking like a superintendent of like a school system.
It's like a
this
step
is
above a
super-
principal.
Yeah, like the
don't
dude that
know,
like
I forget.
manages the schools.
When I say superintendent, people look at me weird. And it makes sense because like nobody knows what
when
that is.
people like I feel like I remember a few times when like the superintendent came in to like my middle school and I was like, oh, who's this douchebag just walking around?
Wait, so the 3 things that you just said, was that for the superintendent job or for the construction
No,
job?
for superintendent, that's what I do in the city for this GC that I'm working for. And then
Yeah.
after that, I go and do my own thing
Oh, okay, so your day job is the superintendent,
Superintendent,
and
yeah.
then the construction
during the week.
stuff.
But then on the weekends, I do my own thing, like full time. So
Your-
Saturday,
your
Sunday, it's
own
Aicardi
company.
Construction Corp. Yeah.
Okay.
So what is a superintendent?
It's basically like management. So like I walk around like the site all day. I'm around the guys all day, and I'm just making sure that they're like building things right.
So you
So it's
sit
guys
on
that
your
have been
thumb?
doing it for like. No, I don't do that. I'm walking. I can't sit on my thumb.
You sit on your thumb all day. I feel like the higher you get, the less work you do. Is that true or false?
I wouldn't know. I'm not all the way up yet.
Oh, superintendent sounds pretty damn up.
Yeah, you sound like you're like a manager.
I am like on
Like,
site.
Like on your resume, you'd be like single-handedly managed like a team of 50 employees. Like
Like you
That sounds
delegate? Do you delegate work basically?
Yeah, like I tell guys like what to do.
Yeah.
I
That
think
seems
you're a manager.
pretty chill.
Construction management. Yeah. that's
What do
I
you? Okay, so when you meet a girl and you're out, what do you say that you do? Because you're not gonna be like, oh, I do 3 jobs.
I don't say all the things. I'm just like I'm in construction, and then they're like construction, like you don't make that much money, like it's kind of shitty, which is like the most false thing of all time.
I feel there's a ton of money in construction.
So much.
People
Yeah.
are stupid if they say that.
I've never thought that.
like a
I always
bullshit
thought that
thing to
there's
say.
because no one wants to like work.
I feel like
hard
there's
with
like
their
less
hands.
money
In our
like-
generation, nobody wants to do
Yeah.
it, but like you can be 18 years old and go into the union and make $100,000 your first year with full benefits
Are
and
you
everything.
serious?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I didn't know that. You know what? Wait, you told me this. Is it master? What type of a welder? Wait, it's the what's what?
I don't even know what you're saying.
So I was having like an existential crisis last year, like freaking out. I didn't think I was doing well at my job.
You
And
want
then
to
said you want
scale
to-
buildings?
someone told me that
Iron worker?
they like the master welder, whatever like is like the top level of welders, they make like $350K a year. I was like, oh my god.
I didn't say that. That's false.
No, Michael told
I
me
did hear that. I
That's
remember
And I was
talking
like,
about
that
this.
is 100% something I'm interested in. But then he told me you have to like basically like, hang off the side of a
hang
building,
off sides of buildings,
and
yeah.
like weld something in the air while doing like
Wait,
a
what is
360.
welding? I don't know what that is.
Like welding, like with
You know how to weld?
don't know
No,
what
but I'm
welding
just
is.
saying.
I was gonna say,
like- I'm just saying I'd learn to make $350K a year.
You might die, but you'll die rich. It's fine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When I die, I put my money in the wall.
You say you were an iron worker.
Exactly. No, but I feel like that is like shitty though. You know what? Do you get freaked out if a girl asks you what you do for work and it's like one of the first questions?
No, I don't really care.
Okay. I know a lot of guys that don't like that.
Why?
Cause like they
weird.
assume
Gold digger.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you meet a girl and she's kind of cute and she's like talks to you for like a second and instantly she's
So
like,
what do you do?
So what do you do?
Well, that's the thing. Like if I say construction and they're a gold digger, they're gonna be like, I'm not interested in you.
No, true, but it doesn't rub you the wrong way because that's
Hmm.
like probably what they're looking for. Like if a guy's like, oh, I'm like a lawyer, and then she's like,
Why don't you
oh
just
my
say
god, that's so
realtor?
cute.
Why do you say realtor?
Because I do more construction than real
Yeah,
estate.
he's
but
more
like
of a he's more of a
nitty gritties
construction-
later. Like if they care enough.
Just being truthful. I'm a truthful guy.
I feel like he wants to
Oh
be true to
my-
himself.
I mean, you're not lying.
So, okay, so obviously, like we know now, like a decent amount about what you do for the most part. I think we have like a
general
baseline,
basis, yeah.
a baseline understanding. So then, I guess like how it can be applied to people listening. So, when it comes to buying a house, like how does that process work? Like when people come to you, when they get you involved, are they already?
Like first steps.
Do they already know the
Let me tell you,
information, or
do you know the first steps of buying a house or
no,
No.
So you have to get pre-approved. That's the first step.
For a
That's like-
mortgage,
Yes,
right?
correct.
I Googled that
You're good.
earlier.
You're sharp.
yeah,
You
bitch.
look
Fuck
sharp.
Ow, you're praying. I know that much about buying a home is that you have to get approved
That's
for
the first
a
thing.
mortgage,
You have to
which
get
is a
pre-approved.
loan.
Abby, you did your research before
I
this
did.
interview. I can
mean,
tell.
That's
It's
all I
kinda
know.
cute.
That's all I know. I
You
know
have like
mortgage.
a whole vibe going on right now, like a whole knowledge vibe.
It's because when I feel educated, I feel powerful.
You are powerful.
Thank you. So all those other episodes, I'm not.
Zach, anyways, back to you.
Yeah, back to you. A mortgage. How do you? Okay.
Are you good?
Yes. A mortgage is a shit ton of money for a down payment, right?
So buying a house is like for the majority of people, the biggest purchase they'll make in their life because it's like hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have to
Right.
get pre-approved for the mortgage to buy the house. You get pre-approved. You know how much you can afford. Then you go and look for houses.
So,
What
how
kind of
do
credit
you know
score?
how much you need to get pre-approved for?
Yeah.
You go to like a mortgage guy. Like I have a mortgage guy that I use for all my stuff. He'll get you pre-approved. He'll give you like a rate. He'll tell you how much you're pre-approved for, what kind of loan. There's different kinds of mortgages.
So for the first thing I do, I wake up tomorrow. I'm like, yo, I'm going to buy a house. The first thing I do is I find a mortgage guy.
Like normally people who come to me, they say, I want to buy a house. I'd say, are you pre-approved? Everybody says no because they're not pre-approved, but it's the first thing you should do.
Okay.
Do you direct them to someone?
I have a guy that I use for all my stuff.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So like basically if you don't do the pre-approval first, you're going to send them there. You're going to send them there anyways.
Yeah.
Even if they're like able to pay in cash.
No, you don't have to get pre-approved for cash.
Okay.
Because you can buy the whole thing in cash.
Do you?
Good to know for me and Abby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
In case we're thinking of doing that.
When the podcast takes off, we're gonna come to you with straight cash. Yeah.
That applies to us.
Can they use an outside party for the pre-approval mortgage, or do they have to use the mortgage person within your company?
You can use whatever mortgage person you want.
So what do you Google for that?
Like mortgage people?
Yeah.
Mortgage person.
You Google mortgage people?
Actually?
I mean, yeah.
Mortgage, what is their title
I
called?
feel like you could maybe ask for like a referral. Like I feel like
loan originator, but like you want to work with somebody you know who's good. Like you wouldn't just use somebody off Google.
All right. You know so note to self, don't go to Google.
You know what I just
All
thought
right.
of is like you know when you like see those like lawyers like that have the big billboards.
Yeah,
And
like
it's
the
like
law, yeah.
Better
Barry
Call
Feinstein.
Saul. Yeah,
Barry
Barry Feinstein or like Better Call Saul like type vibe. Like I'm picturing you meeting someone like that in like the mortgage world and like
Like would you ever use those guys
just
on a
like
billboard? Would you
completely
call them?
screwing you over.
I don't know who you're talking about.
Barry Feinstein? You've never seen those commercials?
I don't have
never
cable.
seen- Okay. Well, like that's just not a thing.
We can't continue this
We
conversation.
can't. I don't know. Abby, we've talked about this. We have a theory where
serious?
like she was like not actually on Earth for the first like
10 years of my life.
10
Do
to 15
you
years.
actually not have cable?
No, I
She
don't.
doesn't.
Never?
No, I had cable growing up.
Oh, now.
No, I don't have cable
You have
now.
YouTube TV?
No.
So what do you watch?
TikTok.
There was a time
Okay.
last year. We were like 3 months into the pandemic back when like Dr. Fauci was on the TV
tell
every day.
people.
And we were like reading something and Abby's like, wait, she was like, who the fuck is Dr. Fauci? And I was like, he's the guy on the TV every day talking about the fucking pandemic that we're in the midst of.
I don't have
She was like,
cable.
well, I don't watch TV. I was like, I feel like you would have come across him at some point.
No, I don't go looking for bad news. Why would I watch the
No, I don't watch news either, but like I know who
It
Dr.
wouldn't have
Fauci
shocked
is.
me if Abby was like, wait, what do you
Well,
mean
who's
there's a
this Barry
pandemic?
guy?
Huh?
Barry?
Do you know Barry Feinstein?
Whatever. He's just like a scumbag, like lawyer type thing. Anyways,
Okay, we
can
digress.
We
We
digress.
digress.
We need to move on. So, okay, so they get pre-approved. They come to you. They're like, here's the amount that I can spend.
They'll tell me their price range. They'll tell me where they want to look, how many bedrooms they want, how many bathrooms. Like if they
I feel
want
like that's the fun part. You're like filling out a BuzzFeed quiz. You're like, I want this, I want that.
if you want a backyard, if you want like a garage, and then I'll set them up on a search. So MLS is where everything goes in, like all the listings in the state.
Okay.
And I can set them up on like an email search. They'll get every new listing every morning. They'll see everything new to market.
So it gets automatically sent to them every day.
And then they're like, I like this. I'll take them on showings. And we'll just go on showings and then make an offer until they find something they like.
Do you
Okay.
usually show people things that either are a little bit above their price range ever? Just like,
Not right now, because like anything that's above their price range is going to go for that because the market's so hot.
true.
But like
That's actually so true. Because like if it's above their price range, it's going to go for that or like maybe more.
What about if it's missing? Like, obviously, I'm sure people probably tell you what is like their non-negotiables, but like if they have
But that's the thing too. Like when you're our age and like you don't have $1 million to spend, you're probably looking at like $500,000, 500,000. You're never going to get everything you want in a house. You
Right.
kind of have to pick and choose.
Okay. And all those are different to everyone.
Yeah.
Like what they're not.
Like everybody has different
Like
preferences.
for me, like I need central AC. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
a
an
must.
option.
Do you
A
have
parking
that
garage.
Central AC? Come on.
in the Faucet?
Yeah.
I'm in the dot. I got central AC.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on the dot. Okay. Anyway, so you get pre-approved for a mortgage.
But
Then
that's
what?
nice. Dorchester's nice. I just
I
wanted to throw it out
agree.
there.
I agree. Shannon, come join us.
I used to live in Dorchester.
Oh,
You
yeah,
guys are
you
acting
did.
like I
Yeah, I
didn't live.
forgot about that.
You guys are acting like you didn't live on Buttonwood and I didn't live on Raven Street.
That's
We
where you live,
literally
Raven
were a
Street.
2-minute walk from each other.
That's cute.
Remember the time that you
That
thought I
guy-
broke into
yeah,
your
I was
apartment?
just going to say that. That was awesome.
Okay,
That's
anyway.
a great story. I mean,
we can tell. We can
have to
tell.
tell that
We
story.
do have to tell that
All right,
story.
fine.
We'll tell it in a
Later.
second.
We pre-approved for a loan. Then what? What you just said.
Yeah, you'll tell me
The
how much you're
MLS.
pre-approved for, what you want in a house. I'll look, and then I'll put in like you end up looking at a bunch of houses. You'll find the one that you like, and I put an offer in for you.
What would you say on average? How many showings does a person have to?
A lot.
do?
Like for most people,
Like a
first-time
dozen?
home buyers, like out of fairness too, they don't know what they're looking at, so they're gonna look at a bunch of stuff, and like you just know when you know. Like I looked at my place in Dorchester when I had to buy it. It was the first place
Because
I looked at.
you're a homeowner.
Yeah. It was the first place I looked at and I bought it, but like nobody does that.
He's a homeowner, small business owner, and an entrepreneur.
Correct.
But it was the first place you looked at, and then you like circled back to it.
Mike actually came with me. Yeah, we just walked in. I was like, yeah, I think I need, like, I don't have a choice. I have to buy this place.
Did you do an inspection?
No, so that's the thing. Like,
because I was gonna ask about inspections and like, before you put in an offer, do you do the inspection first?
you put in the offer and then you make it contingent on doing an inspection in a certain amount of days. Contingent, like it relies upon doing that inspection.
Right, like if they don't do it, like you don't buy the house.
Yeah. Right.
Or if it comes back like shitty, you don't have to buy the house, right?
But like that's what I do with stuff that I buy. Like I can walk through, and we've been like me and like my family have been building houses forever, so I know what to look for. Like I don't really need an inspection.
Okay, so
but
you can save money
for
on
the
that.
average person.
They always do it. You want to do an inspection, yeah.
We have been seeing lately though, like that there's people buying houses like waiving the inspection because people are so
it makes you more
desperate.
competitive if you waive the inspection.
Right, and people are so desperate. But like, do you think that's personally stupid?
I don't think that's a big deal. Like if you
really,
like a lot of realtors, obviously like me, don't do construction. But like if I'm walking through a house, I can tell people like what's a big problem, what isn't. When an inspector walks through, he's gonna point out every single problem. But a bunch of that stuff like isn't even a big deal.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, I thought it was like stupid because I'm like, well, what if you're like about to buy a house that has like sketchy, like I
you
don't
just
know,
have to know what you're looking. You have to know what you're looking at.
I feel like you asked him earlier, like what like sets you apart, and I feel like because you have the construction knowledge, you are better than most realtors.
I wouldn't say better, but like most realtors,
you're more knowledgeable.
Most realtors don't do construction.
Right, but so you have kind of an advantage because you wouldn't.
They know houses too. Like they look at houses all day, but they don't like build them and stuff.
Exactly.
So you know like how they're like made.
From the ground up.
I know how to make a house. Yeah.
What are things to like avoid, or like what advice would you have to people like to stay away from?
Like what to look for and stuff. So like a lot of people our age are buying condos. So you want to look for HOA, the housing association. Do you know what that is?
Yes, the friggin' fees.
Yeah, so but that pays for all the common stuff. Like that's upkeep for the whole building. You want to make sure that you have enough reserves in that. Like sometimes it's super high pay. Like people are paying like $500 a month for housing association on top of their mortgage, which is crazy.
Freaking crazy. So sorry.
Let it out.
I can't talk. Sorry.
Let it out. Drink your tequila.
I think the tequila is like closing my throat. It's okay.
It's probably the energy drink.
So Michael was looking at like apartments in New York City, like to buy just like
the HOAs must be huge.
Because he was like, maybe I'll buy like a place in New York because you can buy places like at a discount basically right now. And he's like, and then I'll just like rent the place out and make a ton of money and rent. So we like, he saw places that were like down from $2 million to like $750 or whatever, like insane, like Upper East Side, really nice buildings. But then what we realized is the HOA fees are insane. So you're paying, some of these places you're paying like some of them are $5,000 a month for the HOA. What? So that means that you have like, you buy the place, you have your mortgage, and then on top of that you're paying $5,000 a month, which is just basically the same as rent. Like it's just going to the homeowners association, and it's just the price of like being like, oh, you get to live like on the street, or like you get to, I don't know, have an apartment in this building, and like there's probably not even like a pool. It's just like you just have the building and like you're paying these fees. And I was like, that is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, I feel like no one talks about that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, so
so you look for the HOA, like you want reserves in your HOA, so like they can.
What's a reserve?
Reserves like money that you have in the HOA, so people pay a certain amount every month that'll be in the HOA, and that's going to cover like if you live in a 3-family and like you have a leak and it messes up all the units, the HOA is going to cover that. It's going to cover like people plowing your driveway, cutting the lawn, like that's common areas around your building.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So like at least it goes somewhere, I guess.
It does go somewhere, but at the same time, it's like you're paying a shit ton of
You
money
just want to make sure it's a reasonable amount and that you're not paying it.
And that they have enough in it. So like if you move into a place and you see stuff wrong and there's no reserves in the HOA, that means you're going to move in and you're going to have to pay for it out of pocket, which isn't ideal.
Oh. Yes, being a homeowner sounds like a lot of work because I love being a tenant and having a landlord because, I mean...
You don't have to deal with anything.
Yeah, I just had... You know about my shower.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's the worst. That's the worst style job I've ever seen in my life. I know. That's not an exaggeration.
Wait, you helped, right?
No, I didn't help.
Wait, why didn't you help?
I can't put my name on that because it's like if I fix a little thing, I have to do the whole thing. Like
I'm
not gonna.
Talk to my landlord, but I would hate to be my landlord because he spent a shit ton of money and it was leaking into the first floor.
Oh, really? Yeah, Abby got her like bathroom redone, and the person who did it was like everything was like crooked and nothing lined up.
It was so bad. It was disgusting. It gave me heartburn just looking at that. It was gross.
So you wouldn't even help because you were like, I don't even want to be associated with it.
If I could do the whole thing, I'd do it. But he didn't want to do the whole thing. Like I'd rip all that out and do it new. Like I wouldn't just patch it up.
Was that bad?
Yeah, it was horrible. Very bad.
Wow.
It's just like not perfect. It's just it looks sloppy.
It's horrible.
I know it is. Yeah. It is. But like, the average person wouldn't look at it that hard.
No, I think they would. That's bad.
Hey, I can still shower now.
Yeah, that's all that counts.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I love that.
Okay, so you need to look for an HOA.
HOA, like you want reserves in the HOA.
And then what?
You're gonna go through
What
and look
else?
at a bunch of other stuff. Like in Boston, you know what a foundation is? It's what the house sits on. It's what's in the ground.
Oh yeah, that I know what a foundation is. Like
You sure?
Yes, I just didn't know what you were
In
referring
Boston,
to.
like a lot of it's like fieldstone, so it's just rock. 'Cause
Abby's
it's
like
older houses.
foundation, like
Makeup.
what you put on your face.
Makeup.
No, I was thinking like the foundation of a family.
Anyway,
Anyways.
it's beautiful.
That doesn't even make sense.
No, I knew what you meant, but I just didn't know where you're going with it. Okay, but so
So you look at the foundation, you're going to go in a lot of these older homes and there's going to be water in the basement, which like isn't a huge deal because all these houses are built like early 1900s. As long as there's a sump, it's called a sump in the basement.
What?
S-U-M-P,
Okay.
sump, pump.
what is that?
That's it.
Sump pump.
Yeah, one of those. It's like a hole in your
I was
basement.
like thinking it sounded like a mixture of dump and simp. I don't know.
Simp.
No, that doesn't make sense.
All right, focus.
It's like a hole in your basement, and that's where all the water goes, and there's a pump in it, and it pumps it out and shoots it out to the street. Like you'll see that a lot in Boston, and older house, and any older
Oh
houses.
yeah,
That makes sense.
because my house is old.
You probably have
It's
one.
renovated. Yeah, I think so. Now that I think about it.
This actually just reminded me of something. Okay, so we were talking about this earlier. So, do you recommend that people like look up the history of a house before they buy it?
Well, you can only go so far with the history. Like what kind of history? You can tell what it's
So-
sold for and like what it was put on the market before. But
But there's like some sketchy shit going on because I've heard of people who have like bought houses and then they've realized after like there was like a crazy like murder that happened there
Yeah,
and like 6
I'd
people were
definitely
like
do that, yeah.
killed and there was like a murder suicide. And then they're like, I just bought basically a haunted house.
I was gonna buy a house to flip once, like in a town like in Central Mass, and somebody told me that somebody had died in it. But I was in there, like a door closed behind me, and like I heard something knocked down. I looked up, I was like, "Fuck this! I'm not touching it."
Yeah, like how do people figure that shit out?
That stuff creeps me out. Well, you look it up, and you're like that
So
lady,
you can look it up.
like yeah, that lady in the house that I looked at, she killed herself in the house.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
but there was
terrifying.
definitely a ghost in there. It was fucked.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
terrifying.
probably
Because that shit that like I
wouldn't touch
I
that. That
wouldn't
stuff
mess
freaks
with-
me out.
No, me too. Like some people were like, "Oh my gosh, like I live in my house and it's like a little creepy and it's
Nope.
fine." I'm not like
Nope.
that. Like I couldn't.
I would have
get
to
nightmares.
break my lease and leave.
Oh, I would leave. I don't care what it would take. I would
Yeah.
sell my house for like a quarter of the price if it meant, if it meant getting out of that.
Okay, but you mentioned previous homeowners. So do you think that like it's worth looking that up? And do you think there's like a amount of previous homeowners that's a red flag?
Not like I don't think a lot of you just got to look at the house and like if it like has sounds cliche like good bones, like it's all
Yeah.
there, like it's worth it. Like it doesn't really matter how many people owned it, but yeah, look it up, like find out the location if there's a lot of crime in that area. Like we were saying, like if somebody's died in the house, like I wouldn't touch that.
But like let's say the house is from like 1920, so it's like 100 years old. Let's say it's had 7 homeowners in the past 100 years. Is that a red flag?
Nope.
20 would be a red flag, I would assume.
I wouldn't consider a red flag. Like if
No.
I go in and I know it's built well and it's in a decent area, I don't care.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's
a good
good
point.
to know because I
'Cause
feel
I
like
feel
I
there could be people who like
be
change
worried.
situations. You can buy a place and
Yeah, like
move,
people are always
like-
jumping around. You never know what the actual deal is.
Why do you
That's true.
think like? Because I feel like right now it's just so insane. Like you said, the market she's like so smoking right now. But like, why do you think that is? Like, do you think it's just because during
Just-
COVID people wanted to buy houses, or do you think there's like more to it?
Just like the economy's hot, like everybody has jobs, they're spending money, so like the housing market's hot as a result.
And like, why are there no houses?
Because everybody's buying. There's no inventory right now in the market. So like anything, like we're building new houses right now, like out in Central Mass, and they sell like that. They sell like crazy. It's insane.
Really?
Yeah,
It's so crazy.
for a lot of money. Yeah.
It's insane.
Okay, so I have a question about being a first-time homeowner. Do you think you need to put 20% down?
No, you don't have to put 20% down.
Oh,
You put 20% down to not pay PMI, which
What's
is like
PMI?
it's like an insurance that you pay on your mortgage. So like it's probably like I don't know $250 a month on average. But people are so concerned about that, but you can't be like if you get a good enough deal, you don't have to worry about PMI. You're still gonna make money on it whether you hold it or sell it. I don't worry about PMI at all. That's what
so
I
it's
tell all my
basically an
clients.
insurance that says what? Like, what is the insurance for?
It's until you get up to paying 20% of your mortgage off, then you don't pay PMI anymore.
Oh, so it's kind of like car insurance almost.
It's like how the bank justifies not having you put down 20%.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But
Okay.
like if you buy the house right and you get it for a good enough deal, it doesn't matter. I'm not concerned with PMI. If I get it for a good deal, I don't care.
Okay, because obviously I feel like the average first-time home buyer is not putting
Doesn't
20%
have to.
down.
That's what everybody says. They're like, I don't want to buy yet. I don't have 20% down. I don't want to pay PMI. Like,
What, is there like the lowest that you can put?
yeah, you can put like 5%. Some of them you can put 3.5% on like
Oh,
an FHA
wow.
loan.
3.5.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine we just buy like a multi-million-dollar mansion that we can't afford.
Yeah.
Put 3%, 3.5% down.
You want to buy one? I'll help you find it.
He's like, I'll buy you something you can't afford.
Yeah, but I'm not concerned about PMI at all. Like you got to get, like I'll help somebody get a good deal as to where you don't worry about PMI and it's worth it. Like you're going to make money whether. So if you buy a property and you hold it for 2 years and you sell it and you're going to make money on it, you don't pay tax on the capital gains. Like the money that you make on the property.
That just went in one ear and out the other.
So let me explain. So
dumb it down.
You buy a house for $400,000, right? And then
now we're doing math.
Okay.
I told there be no math.
You buy a house for $400,000. You sell it a year later for $100,000 for $500,000.
Yeah.
You make $100,000, right?
Mm-hmm. Profit.
Yeah. Now we're talking. You have to pay tax on that $100,000.
Shit.
But if you own that house for 2
How
years,
much?
I don't know off the top of my head what the percentage is, but you're paying taxes on it.
You're paying something on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a decent amount too. But if you hold that house for 2 years, like 2 years straight, and then you sell it after, and say you make $100,000, like we're talking about, you don't pay taxes on that.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm gonna do with my. That's why I'm selling my place in Dorchester. I had it for 2 years. I know I can make money on it. I'm gonna sell it and not pay taxes on that money, and then roll it into something else.
Hell yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Okay, but you have to wait 2 years.
You don't have to, but you're gonna pay taxes for it if you don't.
Like
I don't want to pay taxes on the money I make.
Right. Yeah. No. Fuck that.
So the reason why I feel like I haven't bought well, there's a lot of reasons why I haven't bought a house, but I feel like one of the reasons why I haven't bought a house is because I feel like I'm kind of like a risky spender. Like I feel like I kind of take risks. Like
With what?
I'm someone that will like go to the store and like definitely couldn't afford a purse, but then I could get talked into it, and then the sales associate's giving me like a glass of champagne, and one thing leads to another, and like I've bought the purse, and then
so you're an impulse.
and also the shoes. And I feel like I walk out and all of a sudden I get hit with like a wave of anxiety and depression and buyer's remorse. But then I have too much pride where I'm like, I'm not going to go back and return it because I look like a dumb bitch. So I'm like, here I am with this purse and shoes that I can't afford. Like I feel horrible about myself. I'm going to have to take out a second credit card. And
wait. So if you walked out of a store and you knew you spent way too much on something, you wouldn't return it?
no,
You'd take out a
I
second
would not return
credit card?
it. Nope. No, I mean, I've never had to take out it.
No, but if you had to, you'd rather take out a second credit card than return it?
I really think I would. Like, I don't
That's
think
wild.
I would ever, like, from a pride perspective, I don't think I could walk back in there and be like, I'm sorry, it just hit me that I can't afford this. I have to return it. Maybe some people would, but like,
I feel like most
I'd
people
return it in a
wouldn't
heartbeat.
leave the
No.
store with the purse.
That makes sense.
and
too.
obviously this is like relatively speaking, like I've never bought something that like put me like, you know, in a bad financial situation, but definitely not in an ideal one, especially when I first graduated college and like I felt like I was making more than I was. So anyways, moral of the story, have you ever like sold someone a house where like they probably couldn't really afford it, but like
I would never do that.
okay, that's
Like I
what
always look out for the people that I work for.
So how
Like,
do you convince them not to?
I just tell them it's not worth it for you. Like
Okay,
it's,
so
you're in over your head. Like,
so
you
has
can't
anyone
afford
ever
it.
seen a house? Because my eyes would, like,
100%,
if you showed me like a
Yeah.
dope ass place, like Beacon Hill, for anyone listening, Beacon Hill, Michael, if you're listening to this, like multiple floor, like townhouse, like type vibe.
Mike, let's do it.
Yeah.
She doesn't want a ring, she wants a house.
I feel like I could be like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's like $300,000 over what I'm willing to spend. But like there'd be a part of me that's like, you know what, screw it, I'll do it. In that situation, you'd talk to them
I've been in
out
that
of it.
situation before, and like I go over with the people that I represent, like what their payment's going to be for a mortgage, and I'll say like it's not even close to being worth it. Like you can't afford it. Like you can
can't
get
afford
pre-approved
it.
for a certain amount, but like it's not worth it at the end of the day. In some situations, I go over that every time.
So do you know how much they're making? Like their salary is?
Oh, like they tell you that.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like
Do they
confidential
tell you or
stuff.
you have to know?
You just like kind of know throughout the process. Like once I get pre-approved
Like you
for, you
should
get an
know.
idea.
It'd be like
Yeah.
sketchy if
Yeah.
or like it'd be almost be like I feel like bad for them for you not to know.
Well, I just feel like some people might try to hide it.
No, you have to know it to like get pre-approved for a mortgage. Like that's what it's based
But
on.
you're not the one approving it. So
Yeah, but I talked to the mortgage guy and I
you
know what they
do?
got pre-approved for, so like I have an
Gotcha.
idea.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
that's a good point.
But, like I'm not working with random people, so like I wouldn't not care about screwing. In any case, I'd never screw anybody, but like I'm working with a friend, so I would never do that to a friend. Like you know what I mean?
Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. I get that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys are interested in buying a house or renting a place, reach out to Zach. Zach, do you have like a website?
No, I just have like my phone number. Just text me if you want a place.
Do people still do websites?
I have a
Wait, so-
Facebook page actually. It's wicked old and I don't update it.
Oh.
Wait. So like if we're on here promoting you,
Mm-hmm.
you'd rather us like give people your phone number?
Yeah, like why beat around the bush? Yeah,
I mean, they could slide into our DMs.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Oh, true.
so like that's how it works.
number.
People will text me and be like, "I'm looking for a place." I ask them what they're
Do
looking
you have
for.
2 phones?
I have like I have a phone for being like a superintendent in the city. Like an iPhone.
Oh, so he does have 2 phones.
I got 2 phones.
Don't we have like a no 2-phone rule? Like I feel like if you're dating a guy with 2
Red
phones,
flag.
They gave it to me. I didn't ask for it.
Red flag.
We've talked a lot about red flags lately.
What are some more red flags?
I feel like 2 phones, like it's impossible to track, basically.
What do you mean?
Okay, so we talked about this a few weeks ago. Let's say you were dating a girl, like you guys were like together for quite some time. She's your little honey, whatever. You go out for a classic boys' night. You don't want to tell her wherever you're going. I feel like if you have 2 phones, you could put your like location up from like your work phone. Leave your work phone at home so she thinks you're home all night, and then just take your personal phone out with you.
I mean, if you're like a bad person, yeah.
Yeah, but like I feel like that's what. Like
You're saying you would never do that.
No, I would never think to do that. I
Yeah,
think
because guys don't think like we do.
No, I
Oh,
don't care.
I know
heard,
that.
No, guys have done things like
Yeah,
Oh, you
scumbags.
know.
Like there's scumbags everywhere. I think it's really funny because if you look through my work phone, it's just like idiots just talk. It's so funny. It's just like a bunch of meatballs yelling at each other. It's really funny.
meatballs. I'm not saying you would do it. I just feel like
I'm sure
having the
people do,
second
yeah.
phone opens up a whole other world that I'm not comfortable with like preparing. Like I already have to like keep an alert on for like everything that happens on like your primary phone, and now I have to worry about like a potential second threat.
What do you mean an alert on? What is that?
I don't know. I feel like you have to just like be aware of like what's happening on your boyfriend's phone. Like what apps does he have? Is he changing his password a lot? Is there weird shit going on?
That's weird. Is that a common thing?
That girls do?
Do you monitor what apps your boyfriend has?
I mean, I don't think I need to. I feel like, yeah, but pretty much most people do, right?
Is that a thing?
Oh my God. I remember when Mystery Man, I can't talk. When Mystery Man and I first started talking, he had like dating apps on his phone, obviously, because we had just started talking. And the day that he deleted them, you bet I noticed. I was like, you deleted them? And he was like, hello.
Mystery Man on dating apps is really funny to me.
I mean, who knows if he used them?
There's no way he used them. He just had them.
Probably. But
Yeah, he definitely never used them.
But that's when I knew that I was like, oh my God, maybe he does like me because he deleted them. And I was like, fuck yeah. So girls do notice that.
Yeah. I'm not a girl, so yeah, I guess.
No, but they do. They notice everything, like all the little things.
It's good to know.
Oh my God.
I feel like he's like coming on here acting like he's like all like high and mighty. He's like, oh, like people pay attention to
I
like.
didn't know that girls like watch the apps on guys' phone. That's weird.
I feel like girls watch everything.
Yeah, they probably do.
Girls are psycho. You know this.
I do know that.
So getting into like, I guess more like fun personal stuff. So Zach, are you in a relationship, single? Are you single and like focusing on your like own shit and like growth and whatever, or are you like ready to mingle? Are you looking for a girlfriend? Like what's
I'm
the
not like
dynamic?
really like I'm just doing my thing. Not like looking for a girlfriend, I guess. But like
If one fell in your lap, you'd be like, okay.
Yeah, it's so weird you say that because I feel like you texted us the other day saying like, hey, like I'd love to come on the podcast to like talk about my business, and also I really want a hot GF.
That was a joke. I thought it was pretty funny.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with wanting a hot GF.
I'd take a hot girlfriend, yeah.
Who wouldn't? Okay,
But
well,
like I love how he's just like, yeah, like if something came along, but like I'm not I'm just like so focused on like growth and just making myself better every day.
I just want to be a better person and like help people.
Meanwhile, he's in my DMs every day. He's like, yo, Sophia, you found me a girl yet?
It's funny.
oh, so you're not denying that? That really happens?
I can confirm that.
Oh my God, I love that. Okay, well, so do you know your zodiac sign?
Yeah.
Would you care to share with the class? Because I know any girl listening that's like myself, they would want to know what they're getting themselves into.
Cancer.
You are? I didn't know that. You don't
I mean, you
strike
did know
me
that.
as
You
one.
told me that you knew that before the show. So you're lying
Him
to me.
and Brad, right? Are like born around the same.
Brad's a Cancer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like I should know when Brad's birthday is.
I
but don't
asked
know.
you when your birthday date is, but like I didn't know that prior.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
you don't
means-
strike me as a Cancer.
It means nothing
is a
to me.
what?
I don't know.
What strike you as a
Emotional.
I'm not emotional. I'm not emotional.
Yeah,
I
you
know
don't
you're
seem
not.
that emotional.
Very like mellow.
Yeah, you're pretty. Like I feel like you're pretty chill.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta know. I'm curious to know what your moon sign is because that's really where the emotions
Oh
lie.
my gosh.
What's a moon sign?
I don't know. Don't even get her started. I don't understand it. We're going down.
Okay, so while we have you, we've always wanted, guys' perspectives on things. And there's one thing that I would like to pick your brain at, and it's why guys are hot and cold with girls sometimes.
Oh,
like
yeah.
what? Like why?
Yeah, we'd like to know why.
Why?
Why?
There's so many hot
Why?
takes on this.
Okay, let's hear them. I would love to know.
Like you had to give me like a scenario. What do you mean hot and
Okay,
cold?
I have actually an
Shannen.
ideal situation. So you go on a date with Jessica. Fucking
Not Jessica. Fucking dumb bitch.
Jessica. Sorry, if there's a girl that's a fan of Jessica, we love
We
you.
love
We're
you.
just kidding. It could be anyone, but mostly Jessica.
It doesn't sound like they love you, Jessica.
Jessica, we don't mean it. So you go on a date with Jessica. You meet her out at the bar, like you guys are flirty, twirly, whatever. Like she's wearing her cutest new crop top from Revolve that she was
What does twirly mean? What is that?
You know when you're just feeling a little twirly?
Nope.
Like twirly.
No.
Like I'm a little twirly right now, you know?
I don't know. That
Anyways.
means, but yeah, continue.
You're on it, like you meet her, you guys exchange numbers, like she's like pretty cute. Like she's probably like an 8.5.
Yep.
Good looking girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys are texting for a while. Like, let's say you go on a date, you go out, have a fun time, tear it up around the town, whatever. And then you start getting hot and cold. So, like, you're texting her one day, and then all of a sudden you don't reply to her for 3 days.
One day you text her good morning. The next day you text her when you get home from work.
Yeah, I hate texting so much.
And then,
No, but,
and then
like,
all of a sudden,
hot
like,
and cold.
one weekend, like, so one Friday night, you're texting her all night, like, while you're out with your friends, and you're like, hey, like, can't wait to see you again. And then you don't answer her for 3 days.
It's like you put in effort one day and the next day you're not.
Like you're just like
Why?
so hot and cold. Like, and I feel like that's so common for, especially in the beginning stages of dating with guys and girls, where like the guy, like it seems like one day he really likes you, and all of a sudden he like disappears for a few days, and then he comes back around.
Well, I feel like in most cases, it's just like a girl just like being too, like blowing a guy up way too much, and they don't like that.
But what if she's not?
Then I don't know why they wouldn't like that.
Well, is it like because what goes through my mind when a guy's being hot or cold is that there's someone else.
I wouldn't say there's someone else.
But could that be the case?
Or like
Could
maybe
be,
he's
yeah.
just not that into her, and he just like
he just got to know her better over time, and he realized there was things I didn't like.
But then he comes back and he's hot and he's like, and he seems like he's obsessed with you again. But then a few days go by and then he's cold and then he's ghosting. But then he's back and then he's obsessed with you again. Do you know what I mean though? Like hot and cold.
Abby's like, not that I've ever been there, but like
Sounds like you've been there. Do you want to talk about it?
No, I'm kidding.
I feel like we've all been there.
Probably.
It's like super.
No one
normal.
comes to mind, but like I bet I have.
Yeah, it's definitely
Anyways,
happened to me.
Why?
Everybody's probably been there. Yeah.
What?
Why?
They just like lose interest. I feel like I don't
I
know.
But then
feel-
what makes them regain it?
I can't answer. I don't know. Like, I'm not
It's
sure.
never happened to you.
I don't like
You've
lose
never-
it then regain it. Like if I like somebody, I like them.
Okay, that's cool. I feel like
So they're just an asshole.
yeah, maybe they're just an asshole,
could
or
be.
maybe they're like
They could be from
Maybe
Southie.
they,
They
like,
could be from
kinda-
Southie and not Dorchester.
That's so true.
Yeah,
I feel like the
don't talk to
distinction,
boys from
the distinction
Southie.
is huge. I also think like it might just be like they like you, but like not enough to put in a ton of effort. And then when they're out,
Yeah,
they're
but they
like,
still
oh,
wanna hang out, yeah.
they're like,
That's
oh
fair.
wait, shit, I forgot about her. Like I'll text her again, and then they like kind of forget again. Like you're just not like in the front of your mind.
Yeah.
Okay, what about this? This is more of like a practical one. So you're on Hinge. You're on Hinge, right? I'm assuming you're on all the apps.
Hinge, yeah.
Okay. So you're on Hinge, you guys like you match with a girl or whatever. We recently got Hinge like together, so like we understand how it works now. You
I got
like
sent your Hinge and I got mad at you because I thought it was real.
Oh yeah.
you saw,
I'm
you
never
saw
talking
it?
to you again. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cute.
It's not cute. I got mad.
I said I went to Colombia.
And her
That's
name
it.
was
That was funny.
Sophia, and that she worked in public relations.
It was public relations. Okay.
which is all false.
So, anyways, you're on Hinge, you like match with someone or whatever. You message the girl, and she replies to you, and then you don't message her ever again.
I think girls do that more than guys.
Really?
Yeah.
You think?
If
I
you're a
feel
girl,
like-
if you're a girl, why do you match a guy and then not answer him?
oh, so you're saying like it's common for girls to match
Yeah.
with a guy, and then the guy will like say something, and the girl won't answer.
Yeah.
Probably
What's
because
the point of
you're
matching with somebody?
boring.
Why would you match with them?
Because he's hot.
You know why?
That's stupid.
No, you know what it is? I think as a girl, that's actually a really good point. I think as a girl, like we're so analytical. I think we have like thresholds for things. Like I could see a girl being like, this guy is like not so unfortunate that I want to ignore him and like risk losing him forever. But I also am like not so obsessed with him that I want to like talk to him and go on a date. But I kind of want him to just like fester there, like in case.
Is that a real thing?
Yes.
Absurd.
I actually think that's what it is. Like I think like girls see a guy and they're like, all right, like he's good enough to like match, but like I don't know if I go on a date with him. And then I feel like there's girls.
Well, it's like, then why do you match him? If, like, isn't that the whole
Well, I
point
think
of it?
for me,
Stupid.
like when I was on dating apps for like a minute, like I'm scrolling through profiles. One, I need to see if you're good looking, and then B, I read through the things, and if you're not funny, I would never match.
I feel like you guys have talked. What do you look for on a Hinge profile?
Well, so if I match with someone and then like they're good looking and their bio is funny, but then they're not really putting a lot of effort into the conversation and they're pretty dry, it's like, okay, well, you're not giving me much to respond to, so I'm just gonna go talk to, whoever who's putting in way more effort and is actually like funny and like can hold a conversation. But like I feel like there are definitely times when I was on dating apps and like the guys are just like so dry. I'm like, ugh, why am I wasting my time talking to you? Like, I don't care how good looking you are. If you can't carry a conversation, why would I talk to you?
I also feel like if like you match with someone and they were to like say something really cheesy, I feel like a girl wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't say cheesy stuff. That's
so
weird.
what do you say?
Say hey.
You just say hey?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why people aren't answering.
I mean, what else are you supposed to say? Like,
you should say something like that opens up a conversation.
I also forget to like I'm just like doing stuff all day, so I just forget to message people too.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I really have Hinge.
Yeah. Like I feel like those little like blurbs they give you on Hinge, you can like reply to that and try to start a conversation.
Yeah, but some of the girls suck. Like those things are stupid. It's like I have a dog, or like I like vodka sodas. Like, what do you say to that?
We put in a lot of effort into making our fake profile. I feel like if some
we just promoted the podcast on it. It was like
wait, I showed you mine, right?
Yeah, I reviewed it over the weekend.
What do you think of the questions?
I thought yours was kind of cute.
Send me it?
I thought it was kind of fun and cute. You were there. And like bootsy.
If you did, I didn't read it.
It was what?
Bootsy. Ignore her little flirty dirty.
Yeah, look at my questions.
Okay.
Give me your honest thoughts.
Never have I ever had coffee. Boring.
No, I thought that. No, that's wicked. That's a conversation starter. He's never had coffee.
That's a red flag.
No, he's never had coffee in his life, and he wakes up at 5 a.m. every day to go to work.
That's a great sign.
That's a great.
People have said that's a great sign.
You sound like a psychopath. I'm the type.
I think it's interesting and unique.
Agree to disagree. I'm the type of texter who would rather talk on the phone.
Yeah, I hate texting. I like to talk on the phone.
I feel like that's a majority of guys.
I don't think that's true.
No, the ones I've talked to. Typical Sunday. You go to church?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm learning so much today.
Abby's learning more about you from your Hinge profile than she has in the past like 2 years of your friendship.
I know.
It's messed up.
Yeah, I don't love it. Your pictures are good, but I don't love the 3 prompts.
I think I need a second opinion on this one.
I don't like the 3 prompts.
I actually liked yours. So the like I'm never drinking coffee. I think so. It's not even about what he's saying. It starts a conversation because there's so many girls that would be like, "Wait, no way! Like, who hasn't drinking coffee? What's wrong with you?"
Okay, and then what?
And then he's like, "Yeah, it's crazy. Like I
can't bond over that."
Well, then he's like,
it's a conversation starter.
No, exactly. But then he's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "I still wake up at 3 a.m. every day for work, and I just like don't need coffee."
Yeah.
Anyways, what's up?
I guess.
Pretty much, yeah. That's exactly how it goes.
Yeah. I feel like it's not bad. It's not too bad. Yeah. I don't hate it.
Okay.
But when a guy does it, like my question was when a guy does it, what does it mean? So you you match with a girl, you message her or something. Mm-hmm. She replies and then you don't answer her anymore. Why? Why message her and match with her in the first place?
I might have matched her by accident when I was just flying through.
No, but then you messaged her. And
then if I message her back, then I'm going to keep talking to her. But I don't message like I want to like go and get drinks or like go do something. Like just messaging is stupid.
You don't want to just like talk to someone.
Well, I've always said,
yeah. Like I don't want to talk over Hinge.
You don't want to talk to someone too long on Hinge because
it's weird. Then you have nothing to talk about in person.
But you're also the longer you wait to meet up in person, you're coming up with like a fake person in your mind, and you're going to be disappointed when you meet up with them because
that's very fair.
The whole time that you're talking to them, you're coming up with like this whole agenda for like what kind of family they come from, like what they do, and
like put them on a pedestal and like come up with like a fake idea,
and then they don't live up to your fake agenda that you made in your head, and then you're like, who's this person?
Yeah, it's just like when you like read the Twilight books and you thought Edward was gonna look a certain way, and then you watched the movie and you were like, who is this asshole?
Did you read the Twilight books?
Obviously.
Did you read Harry Potter?
No.
Did you read Harry Potter?
No, but I love the
Harry
movies.
Potter.
I would rather watch Harry Potter over Twilight any day.
I've read the Harry Potter books,
but I don't
2 times I think when I was younger. I love Harry Potter.
Are you a big reader?
I used to be, but I don't have time for it now.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Are you a big reader?
Not really. Like I try to like open up an occasional book every
What's your favorite book?
I don't fucking know. Wait,
one.
That's a good point. If you don't know what your favorite book, like, does that make you just dumb?
Do you have a favorite book? Everybody has a favorite book.
I was almost about to be like Catcher in the Rye from fucking high school.
That's a good book. That's a good book.
From Mice and Men.
Mice and Men. Michael says that's his favorite book because it's the only book he's ever read.
Mine are all like this is gonna sound weird, but like poetry books.
That's very weird.
Yeah.
That's a big red flag.
like
That scares me.
like
right
you
there.
know,
That's terrifying.
you know the little thin ones that I'm talking about.
That's weird. If you like poetry books, that's scary.
It's
I
not like
feel-
poetry. They're all like motivational.
Yeah, it's like short like stuff. That's weird.
Oh, like
Yeah.
the Rumi Kapoor or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
I like those.
Have you read the
books.
4 Agreements? Have you seen that? The 4 Agreements?
Yeah.
Great book.
Yeah.
You should read it.
I like a lot of self-help books.
I've read the little
Four
red.
Agreements.
I read the
Okay,
little
I'll
red
read
book
it.
of sales, which was like good.
I've read that.
I've
I've
read a
read
lot
that.
of like businessy books, like
Yeah.
Tools of the Titans and shit like that. But I kind of like I like nonfiction books or no
Harry Potter.
fiction books. Sorry, fiction books. Like I like things that aren't real.
Yeah.
Because I'm like every single day I have to wake up and live this life. Which often sucks. So when I'm reading a fucking book, why do I want to read more about all the bullshit we have to deal with every day? Like I'd rather
Yeah.
read something that doesn't exist. Like why do I want to like read about some like dumbass like I don't know.
That's a you question.
To
I don't-
escape the
I don't know why you do
dumbass
that.
world. To escape, I think people read it to
Yeah.
escape the dumbass world. They
Exactly.
read
Like I'd rather
fantasy.
read about like a vampire that's like not real and be like, wow, that's
Yeah.
cool. And then it's like a distraction and then I'm like, oh wait, okay, shit, like I have to like go to bed and like live my life now.
I kind of like factual stuff. I feel like that's a dad thing to say, but I like that. I just
You're like
learned.
into autobiographies and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Factual stuff. Like I go to Home Depot, go to bed early. I'm just a dad.
Oh, they say if you're looking for a man, look for one in Home Depot.
At Home Depot.
Because
Is that a real
mean,
thing? Really?
yeah.
Who says that? That's
I don't
smart.
think, I don't
but
think
who
anybody's ever said that.
I could be lying. I want to say it could have been Alex Cooper, but
I love
heard it-
Home Depot.
I heard it on a podcast. I don't remember which one.
That's actually smart. My
Because think about it. You probably
because
owns
you're
a home.
the type of guy that you want to date.
and you want to fix shit.
Exactly.
And you're a go-getter.
And maybe
you,
if he can fix the house, he can fix you and like your personality.
was that an attack on my personality?
No, any of us.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, we digress.
You
so
did say that Mystery Man was handy though. Just putting it
Mystery
out there.
Man is handy. I've seen him. He
He's-
fixed the door that he broke.
He
at
built
my
me
old
a
place.
he built me a desk. He changed my tire when it was flat.
Super
Very
Smart.
handy.
So handy.
That's super cute.
Michael
I know.
is. I don't know if
Mike,
anyone.
I don't think Mike's not. Mike's not handy.
The chest of drawers in my room.
I can
Has
confirm
anyone
that he's
seen
not
those?
handy.
They're all
Yes.
and we haven't thrown it away. It's just like he
It's so
he spent like
lopsided.
6 hours spending this chest
And
like
wonky.
building this chest of drawers for me and like the entire thing you can't use it. Like you can't take a drawer out, but I've like
That sounds
left it
right.
there out of because I'm like, oh, like he tried. You know.
A+ for effort.
guess.
It's a little wonky, but you know, it's fine.
Wait, we have to tell the story of when we thought you were breaking into our place in
Oh.
Dorchester. That's a good story.
We do have to tell the story.
Like you should tell it.
Okay, well, I'll try to piece
Wait,
it
maybe
together.
should I tell it?
Wait, let me tell it, and then you
All right,
tell
fine,
what,
fine.
like, you know, like when you see a movie and like they show both sides. Okay, so I was at a work event. Abby was at the work event too. BBJ.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 years ago or before the last one we had before the pandemic. In the
Yeah.
summer, it's like a huge event in the seaport, like big party, whatever. So I am Ubering to Michael's, and he lived with Zack on, you know, Buttonwood. They were the
Cots
bad
Country. That
the
was the
bad
best place.
the bad boys of Buttonwood. Not a cute name, but anyways, so I was Ubering there after the event, and I had like definitely a few drinks. I'd say like I wasn't like in my best shape, but
You were not sober.
no, I was like, I'm coming over, whatever. So I'm texting Michael. I'm like, hey, like I'm almost at your place. Like I'll be there in a second. Be there soon, whatever. We got there. I get out of the Uber. I walk up to the front door. I knock on the door and I go to open it. I open the door and what I see is Michael and Zack standing there like with no shirts on. Michael is holding a baseball bat. Zack is holding a steak knife and they look like they're about to beat the shit out of me. And literally like Zack like he was about to stab me. And I was just like, what the hell? I'm like a little drunk. I'm like, what the hell are you guys doing? And they were like, did you just try to break into our apartment? I was like, no. Literally terrifying. Anyways, we ended up going to bed. I was like, what just happened? Michael was like, we'll talk in the morning.
Was Mike drunk?
No, he was fine.
No, they weren't drinking. They were just having like a regular night in. I was the one that was out. So anyways, we all go to sleep under the impression, or they were under the impression that I had broken into or tried to break in. I didn't know why. So the next day, what happened from your perspective? I don't even know.
Like my bedroom, the way it was the deck window was directly behind my head when I slept, and I'm just sleeping. I just hear knock, knock. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I just like roll over, and I just hear like bang. It sounded like somebody had a gun, and they were like banging on the window. I'm like, what the fuck? And I look over, and somebody's like banging on the window. I'm like, holy shit! And I'm like she's saying, like I'm in my underwear. I run into Mike's room.
Didn't you say it sounded like someone was trying to lift the window up?
Yeah, like they were trying to break right behind my head. And I run into Mike's room and I open the door. I'm like, Mike, somebody's breaking in. And he just looked at me like he had like seen an alien. He was like, and he just sat in his bed and he stared. I was like, somebody's breaking in. And he got up. He's like, get a knife. I'll get the bat.
Get a knife. I'll get the bat.
Were you guys on the first floor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's scary.
Yeah, it was the first floor.
You couldn't pay me to live on the first floor.
What, just like a junkie that was trying. We went into the back deck and there was like shitty like cigarette butts and like handprints. Yeah.
Could have been me.
I was like, if Shannon's on the deck, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Honestly, though, the funny part was that the next day we went down to inspect. I was at this work event. I was wearing like a red dress. It was like kind of tight, like I don't know, like I was like dressed up for like a work event. I was wearing like 6-inch heels, whatever. So
it was also like December or January, like it was in the winter.
No, it was in the summer.
No, it was in the winter, I think.
BBJ's in the summer.
Maybe it was a different work one.
But if you look outside, so like they had like a freaking like 8-foot tall like fence.
Yeah, this guy scaled the fence.
That you had to go. So there was like a 8-foot tall like fence that was like pointy on top that you'd have to like go over and then around and then climb up the stairs to their deck to then break into his room. So I saw it the next day and I was like, you idiots thought that that Shannen drunk, 5'2", scaled up an 8-foot wooden fence wearing a red dress and heels, and then I like tumbled over at the edge of it, ran up a deck, and then tried to break into Zach's room. And I was like, meanwhile, Michael's room was on the other side, also on ground level, and I could have just gotten into his window. But like, you thought that I broke in to the point where you guys like had a steak knife and were trying to like kill me, thinking I wasn't
thinking.
It was like the funniest thing ever.
Honestly, I wouldn't put it past you. Drunk, I feel like drunk you could do that. Sober, no shot.
There was a part of me that was like
without
maybe
the heels, of course.
Yeah, there was a part of me that thought maybe it was me. They convinced me that I did it, and then Michael was like, "Okay, we found like."
I thought it was you. I was like, "There's no way some guy scaled the fence and worked his way up the stairs."
They found like a fingerprint on the window.
Handprints, like sweaty,
handprint, and it was like
it
was a big handprint. Like I put my hands against it, and they were like, "All right, it's not you." Like it came to that.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
So someone tried to.
It was like some O.J. Simpson bullshit.
And they couldn't. All right, PSA, lock your windows.
Yeah, and then after that, I was like, all right, we are moving from Dot. Dot is a thing of the past.
Then I stayed in Dorchester, and the rest is history.
Same. I've been there 3+ years.
Never broken into?
No.
Maybe it was Michael.
Somebody broke into my truck actually 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Did they take anything good?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, did they break like a window?
No, I left.
You left it.
I left it open for 30 minutes.
You're asking for
all the pity I had for you is gone.
It was lunchtime during the day in my parking spot. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay, so the last thing we want to do is we want to call up maybe like a friend or two of yours and just like see what their opinion is of you.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we're gonna call Michael, our good friend, your old roommate.
Michael Titlebaum?
Yeah. I don't know if you. Hey, Michael.
What's up?
All right. You're on the podcast. We just wanted to call to see what your opinion was of Zack. Like, if you could say a few things about Zack, what would you say for the podcast?
Oh, man. Really put me on the spot here. I would describe him as a small business owner, a homeowner.
Yep.
A handyman with a touch of scumbag.
Oh, a touch of scumbag.
Oh, Mike.
But majority good guy. Great guy all around.
But kind of a scumbag.
But with a lot of money?
You know, what'd you say? A lot of money?
Yeah.
Definitely worth a lot of money.
Okay. So high net worth.
High net worth, for sure.
Wait, 3 words to describe him.
I just gave you 3 nice descriptions.
No, like words. 3 words.
Words.
Michael doesn't really know words.
I'm currently working.
The steam's coming out of his ears right now.
He's not happy.
I'm not happy.
All right. Thank you, Michael.
Bye, Michael. You're great. Michael doesn't clearly. I don't know if he could ever come on the podcast.
It'd be awesome on the podcast.
All right, we're gonna do.
Let's get Chad.
Next is we're gonna do Chad.
What's up?
Hey, Chad, you're on the podcast. We were just calling to see if there's if you could describe Zack
As a realtor.
as a realtor and as a person. What would you say?
Fantastic.
That's my guy right there.
How would you rate your experience working with him?
What's in the background?
It's not Milan, if that's what you were gonna ask.
You're watching Milan right now?
No.
Chad, how would you rate your experience working with Zack?
It was great. He helped me buy a $1.2 million property.
For $25,000 under ask in a very hot market.
No, okay, but rate it 1 through 10, Dave Portnoy style.
What?
I can't take seriously.
I can't talk with the music in the background. It's wild.
The Milan in the background. I can't.
Is this going to be on the podcast?
You're live right now.
Well, as a person, how would you describe Zack?
I'm a little concerned that this is going to be on the podcast.
Me too.
Brad, good answers only.
So they want me to describe how Zack is as a realtor, or Zack
As a person.
As a person?
Yeah.
In what aspect of his life?
Just as if you were just someone were how do you describe Zack? What would you say?
Muscular.
That's fair. That's very fair.
Give us more, Brad.
That's it. Hang up. That's all we need.
Wait. Give us more, Chad.
Do you think he's a good guy, or do you think he's kind of a scumbag?
No, he's the best guy. He loves Southie, which is cool. Everyone loves Southie.
I do love Southie.
I have to hang up this music. Thank you, Chad. Love you. Bye.
Yeah,
That was sweet.
It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cute.
Chad's a good kid.
I thought it was good. It was cute. Good things to say overall.
Who are you calling now?
I just have one more call.
Who is that?
Your ex-girlfriend. I'm kidding. Hi, Bianca. You're on the podcast. So we have Zack in the studio today, and we were just wondering if you could describe Zack in a few sentences. What would you say about him? Because I know how close you guys are.
Oh yeah, we're so close. Zack is I'm at a loss for words. There's just so many things I could say about him. Zack is, A1 guy. One place in the city that has city views and beachfront property, Zack. It's your guy.
That's a good point.
A lot of people have said that.
Napontet. Yeah, a lot of people do say that. Yeah. All right, thank you, Bianca. Anything else?
Life of the party. Really, really knows how to bring everyone together.
Do you think he's good with the ladies?
Yeah, he's got that side eye. Where he just
I don't know what that means.
Just gives him the eye and
that sounds creepy.
He just gives him the eye.
I've seen it down in Miami.
Hey, what happens in Miami stays in Miami.
Actually, he does have the eye when he sees a girl he likes. So one look from Brad, from Brad. I don't even know what I'm talking about. One look from Zack, and that's it, basically.
Yeah, that's it. It's game over.
Okay. I think that's fair. Thank you, Bianca.
You're welcome.
Love you. Bye. That was my sister who knows Zack a little bit, but not that well. I think that was accurate. What do you think about the things that your friend said about you?
I think my friends are all good people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mike's a good guy. Chad's a good guy. Bianca, great girl.
Great girl. Great family.
Yep.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the pod. Hopefully you guys have learned something, whether or not you want to slide in our DMs or slide in Zack's DMs. Can you tell them where to find you?
At Aicardi.construction. Follow us. You'll learn a lot, more than you'd expect. And, yeah.
What about your personal Instagram?
Zack Aicardi.
Can you spell it out?
Z-A-C-K.
It's with the K.
Zack. Sound it out. How would you spell Zack?
It could be
Z-A-C-H.
Z-H.
A lot of people do
Could be
C-H, but
ZH.
sound it out. C-K makes sense, right?
Yeah. Okay. So what's your at? What's your at?
Wait,
Zack.
how do you spell Aicardi? We're asking how to spell Zack.
Yeah,
We're not-
Can I finish? Z-A-C-K. A as an apple. I-C-A-R-D-I. Silent A. Aicardi. Zack Aicardi.
All right. Well, there you go, people. If you're looking to buy a house in the Boston area, it's Boston only?
No, everywhere. Anywhere. We'll go anywhere in Mass.
Okay. If you're
buy
looking
a house, build a house, let me know.
Okay. If you're looking to build, you heard him, build a house, buy a house in the Massachusetts area, hit us up. We can connect with him or just slide in his own DMs.
And if you're single and looking for a nice guy out there who makes some good money, definitely slide into his DMs.
You'll be
rumor on the street is that he occasionally gets good tickets to some sporting events. So if that's what you're into.
And if that isn't enough, you'll be adopted into our friend group. So,
which I don't know if you want, but
I don't want that.
Thanks so much, Zack, for joining us, and everyone else. Thank you for listening every single week. We appreciate you guys, love you guys, and we will see you when we get back from our trips this weekend.
Bye, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Cheers.